we are at the Innovation 2023 conference, and I want to tell you, a lot of great conversations happening. TechNL has brought a lot of people together to discuss kind of all the different areas that we should be exploring. Big topic of conversation is AI these days. Everybody's talking AI. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So my name is Sedef, and I'm the Director of Professional Development Team at Vector Institute. So what my team does is that we work with our industry partners and then make sure that they have the skill to work with AI technologies. So we bring training programs, we develop training programs such as like a workshops or longer, like a month-long workshops or like a seminar series to make sure that they have the right knowledge about AI when they are implementing those technologies into their use cases or their practices in the industry.
So it's training based is what you provide?
Yeah. So my team, we provide those kind of like a training to our sponsors. And then we also have applied AI project that I talk about today's keynote. So with those projects, what we do is we take the state of the art, we bring those state of the art into like a practice. So we work with our sponsors, they bring their use cases, their problems, we work together, and then we try to find solutions. We have like a family of AI technologies, so we experiment those ones and which ones fit their purpose, and then they learn how to use those technologies and then take the knowledge and then go back to their companies, and then they apply those knowledge. And then even if they can solve their problem, that is great. If not, then they can, iterate those technologies, and then they can use it, like a different use cases.
Now, when you say a sponsor, you're talking about a company or an organization, institution with a challenge. They're trying to get their head around it, and they think that AI might be their solution. They come to you and you apply a team towards it. Talk to me about what that looks like for a company. How do they come into your orbit? How do they get involved?
Yeah, so this is a great question. So Vector Institute is non-for-profit research institute. And then we also have industry partners. So those partners ranging from financial institutions to manufacturing, from health like pharma to telecommunications. So we have like a very wide range of sponsors. They are like a big enterprise sponsors. And then we also have tech companies such as Google and Nvidia. And then what we do is that we ask them, okay, so what kind of challenges that they have? And then they, as you mentioned, they come to us and they say, hey, we have this kind of challenges. And then we look for those like a common challenges, because some industries have their specific challenges, but those challenges might be similar to another industry, right? So what we do is we bring those together, and then we look for our like suite of AI technologies, like a different maybe like algorithms or models and whatnot. So we say, okay, what kind of technology or what kind of models can we use for this kind of use cases, this kind of problems? And then when we find, the suite of technologies or like suite of, let's say, solutions, and then we ask them, okay, so let's bring them together. And then we provide them like a project management support, we provide them an engineering support, we provide them like a resource and researcher support. And sometimes we provide them a computational support, so then they can work together and then learn from each other and learn from our researchers, our engineers, our project managers. And then they can, when they are learn about those technologies, and then they can go back to their companies and then use those technologies, and then they can create their own POC. And then what we do is we open source those solutions, because we are a research institute. So whatever we do is we open source, because we would like to contribute to the open source community.
I love the way that you started that whole answer by saying we're not going to reinvent the wheel here, and then you take us into a whole world of AI. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, like, where do you see the future of AI going? If you were to look over the horizon, where do you see the big changes happening? Might be a bit of
the horizon is like 2 months later.
I guess in your world, a horizon. So let's talk the short-term horizon, midterm and long-term. Where do you see AI going?
So it's a great question. So thank you for asking. So I think that the more that we share the examples, the more that people are got interested, and the more that they start using it. So I think like in couple maybe a month or maybe 6 months or so, we like to see like more examples how people get value out of these technologies. But also I see lots of like a governance and policies, and I see like different countries they're releasing some of their like best practices and how they can govern those kind of technologies. So I've seen like a movement, not only the technology side advancing a technology, but also how we put like a policy in place, how we can use like a governance policies, how we can work together, not only as one country or one company, how we can work collaboratively. I think this is important, like a collaborative actions, like collaborative work is very important. I see a lot of collaboration coming up in in short-term horizon, let's say.
Well, collaboration is important. There's no doubt about it. And everybody at the table and discussing it, I think that's key, as opposed to everybody going madly off in all directions on this
Exactly.
thing. Right?
Yeah, this is actually what we do. We have like thought leadership projects I mentioned in my talk. So with those projects, so we take one of the challenge. It could be technical challenge, but we could turn it into some of the discussion points. We bring like leaders, business leaders on the table, which may not work together or may not have a chance to talk to those kind of points otherwise. And then we ask them, okay, so why don't you bring your experts, say like a security or like a different expertise, and then they all come together and then they talk about it and they share their best practices, they share their lesson learned, and then we also bring at the end we release like a recommendations for the other companies. So we kind of those thought leadership projects, those are really important, like sit and discuss. So how they're going to do what they are doing and how they're going to approach some of the bigger challenges that they have in their companies.
What does the ideal client or sponsor, as you say, look like for your company? How big or small does that person or organization have to be involved in what you're doing?
Yeah, this is a great question. So we have all our industry sponsors are big enterprises, and then we have like different sponsorship levels, and then we also have a program called Fast Lane. So this Fast Lane program is for small and medium-sized enterprises if they would like to, work or be involved within the vector ecosystem. So they can apply for that Fast Lane program, and then they can, be involved with some of the research, some of the project that I mentioned in my keynote talk, and we would like to work with like big enterprises because they have many challenges. Not only the technical challenges, but like a different business line challenges. And then we have 30 plus companies, like all 5 banks, and we have a technology companies, our sponsors. And then we also have, as I mentioned, startup and scale-ups. I think we have more than 200 startups and scale-ups already with our ecosystem. And then they work with us. We help them to, implement those kind of technologies.
How has Innovation Week been for you so far? I know you've been screeched in, but never mind that. But how has Innovation Week been so far?
It's been great. So I guess having this kind of platform within the Newfoundland, so this is important because like you bring all these technological companies, like tech companies together, and then as I mentioned, collaboration and learning from each other is important. So creating this kind of network, like being here and talk about what they have done, talk about their successes, and share their maybe a journey, product journey. So those are very important, like creating this network, creating and sharing. I think this is important. I think the Innovation Week provides this. So I hope that I will come back next year.
It certainly ties in with your short-term horizon of collaboration and the like. So thank you very much for being on the show. We certainly appreciate your insight, and thank you for your keynote today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you.